Hi folks, welcome to Wednesday's Coffee with John. We are very near the end of the whole of this series. We're certainly near the end of 3rd John. Let me read it to you. I have so much to write to you, but I do not want to do so with pen and ink. I hope to see you soon and we will talk face to face. Now, during COVID, do you remember when we had online church? It was good. And it was bad. It was good that we're able to communicate in that way, just as we are able to communicate in this way just now. But it didn't replace church, did it? I mean, I know there were people who thought it did and so on. And I remember one church getting enormously excited that I was speaking at. They were saying, oh, well, you know, we had 1,000 people online. We've had 1,000 people online, or up to 1,000 people online, and we normally only get 400. And I said, well, yeah, but the 1,000 people are just clicks. So it's your auntie in Canada who comes on once and then maybe actually comes on 3 times and hardly hears anything, but she counts as 4 visitors and all that kind of stuff. It's really, I was explaining to them, it's not the clicks, it's not the number of people, it's the engagement. And by the way, thanks to all of you who wrote to me about continuing this. We did Coffee with John. I am going to do Coffee with Jesus, and I hope to start it the first week in May, going through the Gospel of John. And the reason for doing it is, you know, there were a number of you who wrote me and you were very warm and gracious and so on, but you felt that this was helpful to you. You enjoyed the stimulus. And it is good to go through God's Word together. Excuse me. So that's a reason for doing it. Now, how does that compare with, let's say I said to my congregation, right, we're not going to meet on Sunday. We're just going to, you stay at home, I'll stay at home, and we'll just do this online. No, it's better to be face to face. I mean, I'm looking right now at my face, which is horrendous. I really do not like doing that. I hated when Annabelle suggested that I start doing these things. I hated it because I just do not like video or camera or anything like that. And but face to face is so important. Do you know, when you do debates and discussions, and again, I'm going to ask you to pray for something in a moment, but when you do debates and discussions, it makes so much difference when you're able to be face-to-face with people, when your body language is able to be translated properly and doesn't require an emoji, which can be misunderstood in so many ways. Human contact is so important. And I think, I've seen that in terms of debates, that I remember going to a place and afterwards some young atheists came up to me and they said, oh, you're not nearly as evil or as stupid as they say you are. And it was quite easy to portray me as evil or stupid based on my online presence or how I looked or anything else. But actually to be there to engage with people. So I always find that incredibly helpful anyway. I prefer to talk to people face to face. Sometimes someone would write and say, I remember a transgender professor actually wrote really, really angry. And I said, no, we don't do this by email. Come to Dundee, we'll meet. And we did. We spent 2 hours together in a coffee shop and we had a very, very good time in lots of ways. It was very profitable. And I think that's what John means here. He says, I got so much I want to tell you, but I don't want to write all this down. I just want to come and see you face to face. I think it's good to write, by the way. I think it's good to send cards. It's good to send letters, even real letters. There are people who have a ministry of doing that. I think it's good to send emails and texts and messages and to be in contact and all of that. But at the end of the day, face to face is so much better. And I have to say, I love teaching God's Word, even in this way. And I kind of imagine you at the other end of the screen. But what I prefer above absolutely everything else is being in the midst of a worshipping group of people and seeing the responses and the faces and the body language and everything. Sometimes not so great, but to share God's Word in that context is just brilliant. And I think that's what John is saying. So that's enough for today. We shall see you again tomorrow. Bye.